Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
How are you?
I'm fantastic. I'm sitting outside because the sun's just shining on me and the birds are chirping and it just smells so fresh.
What's the weather like there now in Salt Lake? Or you're near Salt Lake, right?
Yeah, I'm in Salt Lake.
Hmm.
It's starting to get like finally my type of weather. Like we're finally in the 80s and it's sunny and beautiful.
Awesome. That's how I know. Well, it actually rained all week here, which it kind of like puts a damper on the Jersey Shore when it rains. But I mean, it's a dark cloud over here anyway. So
Oh no, yeah, the sun's like blaring right on my face and it feels so nice.
that's nice. I'm glad. How was your week? It was good.
It was interesting. It started good, and then I hit a hiccup on Wednesday.
Oh, no.
I think I have like super bad indigestion. I woke up vomiting. Like I was asleep and I woke up because I was throwing up in my sleep, but it was just like all bile and mucus and stuff. And then of course I Googled all my symptoms and I diagnosed myself with something, but I actually found something that makes sense. So I have
You,
I have an annual exam on Monday, so I'm just going to ask my doctor about it, but it's not like a big deal.
do I need to be worried?
No, it's just apparently you can have indigestion that's so bad. It just makes you like constantly clear your throat or cough or sound like you have allergies, which I do have allergies and I do have asthma. So everything is just like more intense, but it's fine.
Oh gosh. Well, I'm glad that we're back again to talk about Real Housewives of New Jersey.
Yes, how was your week?
It was okay. It was good. I mean, I started out like I don't do any recordings till like Wednesday.
Uh-huh.
And it was like full speed ahead.
Right.
And guess who joined my live last night? Well, not joined it, but I saw him pop into the Instagram live, Wes.
Who? Oh,
Isn't
really?
Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh. And I got excited.
Yay.
And I was like, he didn't comment or anything, but that was cool. It made me excited. I was like, oh, look.
That's fun.
Yeah. And we were talking about Jersey anyway. So how many times did you watch the episode?
I watched it the morning after it premiered, and then I watched it again last night because I kind of forgot everything.
Yeah, me too.
But it was boring.
I know. You know what is starting to happen? Same thing that's happening with like Vanderpump. We already kind of understand we already know what's going to happen or what's going on. And even if like it just seems like it's kind of not honest to watch. It's hard to watch it and be honestly and recap it. And I'm not saying that boring is bad. We're not saying boring is bad, guys, but we also don't want like complete toxicity either. So like right now, people that don't really pay attention to social media are watching it and are thinking, oh look, Teresa said nice things about John Fuda. She said he's a great husband. You know what I mean? Like it's just getting very like tangled and like I don't know. Like this is probably like my favorite like time of the week to actually talk about it because we don't really get into like how bad it is on social media.
Because I
Like
don't pay attention to it.
I know.
I just watch the show.
I know. And I'm getting into it. Like when I go live, I just like let it all out. So it's like my purge before I see you or talk to you.
I get it. I get that.
And I'm getting my head chopped off again. So it's like,
of course.
Like I can't win. But I mean, so this is episode 2, but it's episode 3 for us, right?
Yes.
But guys, hi everybody, by the way, in case you don't know who we are. If you're listening to our separate podcast, I'm RealiTEA with KRISTA Marie, but you're on the Who's Study On podcast on my side. And thank you for any downloads or anything, guys. Please 5-star review me. And also pop over to Downthorpe to the Southie Housewives. Listen to me. Salty Housewives. What did I say? You know what? I'll let you talk to your people for a minute. Did I? Oh, geez. Krista.
Salty Housewives podcast.
And we're also on Instagram under our podcast names, and you can follow us all week in between our recordings. So this is another brand new recording for Housewives, like we said, for episode 3, which I thought, like, look, I like watching them all get together. It just really sad to me that they can't just all sit in a group at the Jersey Shore, because that's like that was a real nice restaurant that she had Nate's party at, Danielle. And I'm actually starting to really like her. I just remember I asked you what you thought about her.
I like Danielle a lot.
Is that a real bird in the background?
Yeah, there's birds.
Here, it's so crazy. You sounded like you just took a thing and chirped it up to the. That was cool. But so, all right. So last week I was like, I asked you how you felt about the thing with the money gun.
Yeah.
Well, I'm really worried. I'm worried for her putting her daughter in Hollywood. I don't want to say Hollywood, but into that world.
No, I'm not.
No, don't feel like that? Do you feel like she wants to even do that?
Are you kidding? Did you see that girl during the headshot photo shoot? Come on.
He wanted a Big Mac.
I want a Big Mac. And it's 7:30 in the morning.
I mean, that does sound good. I mean, okay, so I feel like she is right, though. Like, she did have the party. She did make the last year about herself, but I feel like she also makes this Hollywood kid thing about herself. I don't know, Danielle. I think Danielle wants this more than her daughter. I just feel like it's also a very bad time to be in Hollywood, to put your daughter in Hollywood. You know what I mean?
I kind of feel like regardless of when it happens, it'll be a bad time depending on who the people are. At least she's admitting, like, hey, are you shocked? This is what I want to do. Because, like, okay, you're admitting that you are the stage mom. Yeah. Great. But her daughter seems very excited.
I hope so.
It doesn't seem like when Teresa was pushing Gia into it when she was little and Gia had no interest.
That's right. I forgot about. I always forget about that.
Like Gia was into gymnastics. That was it. But anything else her mom tried to push her into, it was like, oh, Teresa, stop.
I mean, all right. But so she's talking about the party. Now, I know they have to have these parties, but like throwing these parties and like it's for Nate's health. I guess it's been 6 years since he's had that situation, which I didn't even know, which I was like, oh, and that just makes me feel more real. Like seeing her actually talk about stuff like that, it makes me like her more.
Well, it's funny because like that's another reason these shows are so engaging, because you get the silly drama, but then every now and then you get a real situation like this, because like even I connected on this one because it took me back to when I was in high school and my dad had an emergency brain tumor removal that we had no idea he had. And I was like a sophomore in high school when that happened. It's like, oh, okay, cool. So she shared that story and it just kind of flashes back. And you're like, oh, I can relate to this. Like I can relate to your fear, your worry, and now your excitement and your just gratitude to having him there. I loved all of this.
Me too. I was like, because my sister also, when she was 27, she had the aneurysm as well. And had it coiled. And like, at one point, she spent 27 days in ICU on a flat board getting like a coil thing. Yeah. And she was 20 and she does the same, like gets the checkup every year now. But so, yeah, like I was like, wow. And I just remember like we were cleaning the bathroom and she just started to throw up. And I thought it was because it was the smell or something.
Yeah.
And no, I felt something pop in my head. And they said if she was asleep, she would have passed out. She would have died.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I just got the chills. But I mean, she's okay now. And thank God your dad's okay, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, great. But yeah, like, and like that is, you're right, the silly drama. And she's even saying, she's like, I just want everybody to get along. And I get it.
Now,
but yes.
For later on when we're recapping, let's remember this moment. Let's remember the party she's having. Let's remember how important it is for her to say, let's get along. And let's remember how almost everybody respects that. Okay. Let's just remember that. Okay.
Now, what was next? It was the dinner, right? We went over to, no, we were at Teresa's house, right? One of those, either with Teresa, we're talking about her dad with your sobriety with Mr.
Oh, yeah. That's so cool.
Yeah. I was like, I keep saying he has a crazy family because I only like really heard about his mom, but this is the stuff without that. I don't want to think about the toxic stuff when I'm watching these scenes with talking about real stuff like his dad's sobriety, how he went through a lot with his dad. I'm talking about Louis. You know, Mr. Ruella's celebrating 8 years sobriety. Like, I get it. My dad, I got sober with my dad. and he actually passed his coin down to me. You know what I mean? So it was like, yeah, like it was so cool. Like it was a good time of our lives. And it was like, it's definitely something to celebrate. That is something awesome to celebrate. Nate's life is something awesome to celebrate. But again, you know, even going away with like Antonia going away to dinner. But let me just, you know, watching, I know guys they're not seeing my face right now, but if you could see my face, I make the Louis face. He just makes this face that's like, he looks like Donald Duck.
It's so funny you say that, because I was noticing his face in this scene, and I started, when he like focuses, he like
Yes.
he pinches his face together, and I'm like, it's kind of adorable and silly, but it's also so awkward.
I'm like, I was making it all week. People are dying. I said, guys, he just goes, oh, he just like, his lips come out, and it's like, and I know they all got new teeth. Like, so Joe Gorga looks funny this year.
First off, veneers look terrible on everybody, and if you have them, I'm sorry you got them, but if it made you feel better, great.
I honestly, I don't know if Louis got him. I don't know what he's doing with his face. I can't decide if it's he's jawing, or he's a focusing, or I don't know.
He's what is it? What no, I was gonna say he's mewing. He's not mewing.
I don't understand. I mean, I don't know, but Teresa, I don't know why she has to keep reminding him and reminding everybody about everything that's going on. We know.
Like, I mean, I don't, but.
Well, like, okay, so if you hear her say to you, right, if you hear her saying, you don't know what's going on, you hear her say, oh, Margaret Josephs, I can't talk about it, but you'll see how fucked up she really is.
And I'm fine with that, because I've never liked Margaret.
Well, the thing is, you've been saying this for 2 fucking years, Teresa. You're telling us this year we're going to find out Joey, he's such a scumbag, and you'll see. And it's like, how long we got to wait? Like, what is this news? What did Margaret do?
Well, here's the funny thing, because, like, I understand you're up in arms over the stuff and everything, you know, blah, blah, blah.
I'm just confused.
And I get Teresa's like, oh, everyone's going to find out. And in my brain, I'm like, but I've never liked these people. I've always thought they were scum. I don't need to see anything. Let's just move on.
Well, that's the thing. I wish she would have just said in the very beginning, I hate all of you. That's it. And just went on with your life. You didn't have to go to the lengths that you did to prove you hate everyone. But, you know, I'm thoroughly convinced that Louis is in love with Vanessa. I am convinced that all these little moves he's making, he's obsessed with Vanessa, because the lawsuit with Margaret has to do with Vanessa. I'm just going to spoil it for everybody, because they probably know anyway. It's literally because Margaret spoke to Vanessa. Now, we know Vanessa is the runaway bride of Louis, who he was about to marry in January 2020. He was with Teresa 5 months later. He didn't leave Vanessa. Vanessa left him. He's still in love with him. Whatever his version of love is. I'm not saying I'm just saying some people don't have the capacity to really, truly love somebody. They're just, a narcissist doesn't have that. It's not his fault. He was born that way. So he loves people the best way he knows how. I'm just going to have to give him that. And I'm convinced that he might think he loves Teresa, but he was still in love with Vanessa. That would be weird if he wasn't in that year that he met Teresa. That would be weird if he wasn't. Okay. And then, but like he sends a fake patient after her, a stalker, in 2022 after he marries Teresa. So then I'm still convinced he's in love with Vanessa. Now he's suing her again. He's got her installed, and it's like, let her go, man. Let her go. Or move to, and I'm convinced when he said, Teresa's like, he's in Miami on a work trip. I said, he's with Alexia. Listen, Lou, the grift is up. Teresa's out. Alexia still has a job. Get your ass to fucking Miami. If he's still, the grift is up. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Teresa, but get done effed up. And whether he's involved or not, he's the one who's grifting you. He can leave. Even if your marriage is legal or not legal, allegedly. He can just get up and go. Alexia is single. And if he's in Miami, Teresa, what is he doing? What's he doing? Why does he have a job in Miami, in LA? And what's he doing? Does anybody you know?
I mean, I don't believe any of the things you believe, but I find it entertaining how riled up you get over it, especially when
I'm not.
You are.
I'm not. I'm being honest. I'm just speaking my opinion and my facts. because I just don't understand.
You know, it's funny.
Yeah.
We were talking about the weather, and I was talking about how like I'm in the sunshine and the birds are chirping and you've got like a rain cloud. We're like mimicking our weather right now.
I said that. I said there's a dark cloud over Jersey right now.
You are the rain and I am the sun.
You could be my son, because I said this is maybe my best part, because I don't get like you should see me live. I have no excuse for myself. So yeah, I could play this Teresa clip, but I won't. I'll just stop here. You know what? I'll play it for you guys. Just listen. Let's just, before we go any further, let's just hear what Teresa says about this thing. Okay, this is her. Teresa's delusional receipt. Yeah, hold on. I say Teresa's delusional receipts about Margaret Josephs. Anyway, I won't play. Anyway, so it's basically. I don't want to be mad. You know, I will just move on. Let's move on to the Gorga dinner. That was Antonio's Gorga dinner. Right?
We've said Margaret's name enough. I'm over it.
Yeah, Margaret Josephs. We're not allowed to talk about it. You'll see. You'll see. Family. All right, moving on to the family. Gorgas dinner. Did you think that Joey's crying was fake?
This whole thing was so forced and phony and garbage, and
I knew you were gonna say that.
I tuned out the first time, and then when I watched it again with my mom and saw how just annoyed and cringed out she was over it, I felt even better with myself. Here's the other thing, too.
Yeah, tell us about this dinner. You can go. Let me take a breather.
Speaking as a gay individual and a member of like the LGBTQ plus community, okay, and again, also only speaking for myself as well.
Okay.
Like, that's great. That's great that those two are close to Joey. That's great that they love that he's officiating his wedding, blah, blah, blah. That's great. Cool. I'm happy for them. But I don't see Joey Gorga as like some big proponent of like the gay community, or someone I think of as like a guy who's really with it with our interests and our needs and our like
invested.
What's this thing about needing to make him just appear like the savior? But not only that, you know what really pissed me off?
Which what?
Teresa and Louis were talking about Margaret. They were only talking about Margaret. The very first chance they got to, they made it about family. They made it about how he only has the one family, which in retrospect is technically talking about Teresa. And it's like, Jesus Christ, let it go. You've moved on. You've wanted to move on. Why can't you move on? Drop it. Also, it's your daughter's birthday. Move on. Also, making your daughter's birthday about you and your husband, get real. I really felt for Antonia, and I was like, no wonder you want to just be with your friends, because I'm annoyed for you.
Because of the way both of them, Melissa and Joey, were both acting. The whole thing.
Ridiculous, because everything has to be about the two of them. Okay. They need the attention, not the daughter on her birthday. Them. Oh, okay, great.
Like, my question is, like, what are they supposed to do? Like, you know what I mean? Like, everything they do now, whether they talk about everything they talk about.
What are they supposed to do? Is that a serious question? Is that a serious question? Hey, Antonia, it's your birthday. Are you so excited to go to college? What are your plans? What are you looking forward to? Oh my gosh, remember when you did this? Can they not talk about their daughter? It's Real Housewives. We just had a moment where Danielle talked about Nick and his health. We just had a moment where Louis and Teresa talked about sobriety. All they can do is talk about Teresa and the fact we miss family. And then, oh, Joey loves the gays. Really?
Oh, that's right. I forget that whole scene. Yeah, I didn't forget the whole scene, but I was just remembering the beginning when Melissa was crying. Oh, I remember the day you were born.
They both needed.
Mom, stop.
Joey and Melissa both needed to be slapped at that table.
Do you think I had a little bit of feeling that like they were a little twisted, like a little drunk by that time? You know what I mean? They both sounded a little.
They're always drunk.
It was weird. And like, look, I mean, everybody who smokes weed, we saw the weed pens coming out this episode, which I thought was hilarious because I'm constantly. I was like, Teresa, you go. But I mean, I feel every scene, like I'm not, I don't even want to say team. I feel very bad for Joey. I feel very heartbroken for him, and I may disagree, but I mean, I just feel like no matter what he does, he's gonna everything's gonna be, oh, you're just doing this because your sister's watching. He's just very affected by what's going on. He has the loss of his sister, basically. Like their relationship's over.
Listen,
and they both know it.
Turn those cameras off and it'd be a whole different story. You can't fool me because there's a camera in his face. He is so full of crap. Anyway.
Yeah, but so are the other two, though. You know what I mean? Like if we just like we took all the rest of them, I don't think the Fudas are full of shit. I don't think Nate and them
the
are full of shit.
Fudas are the two worst people on that show, and they're ruining this for me, to be honest. They're the reason I am so sick of this season, especially her dumb husband.
Why though?
We'll get to it.
Okay, well, all right.
There's something subtle that I don't think a lot of people will have picked up on, but there's some things I pick up on, mostly because of how I stick up for my mom and my sister. And he's like more scum to me than Joey.
Yeah.
And that says something.
I know. Well, let's get to it because
we will. I'm waiting.
Okay. No, we can't. Because so after that, all right. So we can go pimple butt. Pimple butt.
That was hilarious. I could have actually watched an hour-long episode of them just getting that done and talking about whatever.
Teresa's ass is nice. Doesn't she have a nice body? I was like, Teresa.
I was so shocked.
Me too. I was like, wow, me too. I knew, I remember season 1. I watched. She was walking, but we were. It was like a scene of her and Dina walking away, and I was so jealous of her ass and the small little cute butt, and I was like, that's what. And she got her boobies done, and I was like, and she got her boobies done. I was like, oh my god, she's got a nice body, and then I forgot her boobies, and I was like, I would be fucking laying there naked with Robert. I would be laying there. I was like, Teresa, I was, and I'm not. I could have watched an hour of it too.
It was just. You know what okay. I know we just started this, but
yeah.
I like not knowing what's happening and what's coming up. I like how the producers are kind of doing this because they're showing how Danielle, Jennifer, and Teresa are hanging out. Like they're showing their dynamic. They're showing what they're doing. They're showing what they're there to do. And then when they cue to Margaret playing pickleball with Rachel and Melissa, they're showing what they're there to do. And it's so interesting to me to see the contrast of it. Because, sure, I hear everybody's arguments. I understand it. Yeah. But it's another pivotal moment as to why I'm sick of Rachel, too. Because Teresa says to Danielle what she says, which I laughed at because I know how Teresa is. But she also seemed kind about it. Where she's like, look, be friends with whoever. I don't care. God bless you. That's your own circus. Have fun. Whereas
not my monkeys.
Whereas Rachel and Melissa and Margaret, again, all they do in every scene this episode is basically talk about Teresa. And it's like, okay, this is getting so old.
Yeah.
It's getting I think especially for me with Melissa, because it's like you keep saying, and you said in your confessional, which is why I called bullshit on the first episode, I'm already being proven right. I don't want to talk about Teresa. Bitch, that's all you're doing.
What was she? Yeah.
That's all you're doing. Melissa, again, move on. You claim this is what you wanted. You should be happy. Then why do you care so much? But I loved the contrast of it because Danielle, Jennifer, Teresa, they literally were just having fun. They're having fun. They're talking about the party. It shocked me when Jennifer was like, I can't get that done without the laughing gas.
Oh my God. I missed that. I didn't hear that part.
She's like, I can't do that without laughing gas. Even the ladies who did that looked at her like, what? She's like, yeah.
Do they have laughing gas?
I don't think so because she didn't ever do it.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I mean, see, I've had needles in my face. I had this thing done before I got Botox and it hurt like a motherfucker. I would have to it's probably the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it hurts. Like, it's like getting a tattoo. So I get it.
I love that feeling, and I love getting my blood drawn, and I
Do
just
you really?
I don't know, something about it. It feels good.
Do you have tattoos? You have tattoos, right?
Yeah, I have 32 of them.
That's what I thought. That makes sense.
I have a couple.
I know, like, honestly, like, I know your fans don't know what you look like, but I think you're pretty hot. I think you're pretty hot.
Oh gosh.
No, you are. I was like, oh, I literally, like, I saw your podcast one day and I was like, oh my God. And I was just starting to like get mine started again. And I was like, I really liked you. I was like, oh, I like him a lot. And yeah. And here we are. But I mean, listen, so like, you got to remember though, like, Margaret, Jennifer, Rachel are coming off of the double-sided dildo argument and your husband's a drug dealer argument.
Which I said this to my mom too, and we both kind of laughed about it.
Yeah.
I know that Danielle and Rachel are like kind of the same age, but Danielle's a little bit older.
Is she? Is she?
Yeah, she is. I did say to my mom though, I said, it's funny that Margaret and Melissa want to keep hanging out with the girl who was born in 1991. I'm like, so they like the gossiping teenager. Okay. I'm like, this checks out. Cool.
I mean, I find Margaret to be like, I used to call her Marge Jr. because when she calls her mom Marge Sr., it's so odd to me. So then I just start calling her Marge Jr. Like, I don't know. I don't like the whole Jen Fessler part of this. I don't like the Jen Fessler being thrown in this because she's the Messler. Because you know damn well that she did not think that they called John a drug dealer now. She knew well that they meant before, right? So for her to say 1 minute to Margaret, if I'm not going to talk to them if you're not, I won't talk to them if you're not going to, I'm not going to talk to them. You know what I mean? Like, that envelope was proof of what Louis did. Now, I'm going to give Teresa this. She may have been lied to by Louis. So swearing on your four daughters' lives that you didn't do this, I hope to holy hell, I hope that your parents, I hope to all the gods in the world, Teresa, that you did not know. And he completely lied to you about this.
I'm going to ask you a genuine question.
Yes.
Because I feel like if you don't give me the honest answer, I'm going to know it.
Go ahead.
If your best friend was a private investigator, okay, one of your best friends is a private investigator, and you've now become part of this friend group who is part of a reality TV show that's on like a worldwide international scale.
Yeah.
You mean to tell me if you didn't have the opportunity to get information on every one of them just to get like a heads up on everybody, you'd say, no, I can't. You'd say no.
I wouldn't.
Thank you.
Let me really answer this. I wouldn't at first because he's married into this family. He's married into this group of somebody that already knows these group of people.
Listen,
one of them is Dolores, right? Who's been with Teresa since she's been grew up. She grew up with Douglas. Like, that's one person, right? And then you have her brother, right? So that's another the Melissa and her brother. That's number two. You don't investigate, okay? Then you have the Catanias. So like, I got to look at the group of people that I'm with that I've also known. I'm married to the person that has known these people her entire life. The Fudas, no. And Nathan, and no. But the other ones are basically family now to me too. So
okay,
that would be like investigating my husband's best friends. You know what I mean? Because we're on a show together. My husband should never allow me to do that.
But this isn't just a typical situation where you're not on a TV show and there's not like all this crap going on. So you mean to tell me your life all of a sudden is entirely different. One of your best friends is a PI. They are able to get this information for you. You're really going to be like, oh no, I can't. I can't.
I think it's weird. I've been saying this since I thought it was fucking weird. And I wish he would tell me why he did it. Because listen, I said this before, he didn't have any reason. Nobody was doing anything to him. Everybody was accepting him with open arms. He tried to already do a business with one person. And you know what I mean? He went and thought that he made everybody, he thought everybody was uncool before they were cool. Like, you made it so like, we can't be cool with you now. And that's why I'm saying I wouldn't do that, because I think it's odd that he did it. And the thing is, nobody's lying about their past. Frank's admitted what he's done. He's lost his life. Like, you know what I mean? Everybody on that cast has done something wrong. They've all openly admitted all of their like legal shit, already. It's already out there because they've been on reality TV for 13 years. He didn't have to do that. And he didn't have to tell everybody. That's another thing. You don't got to say it and then lie. You say it and then you take it back. And then now we don't know. Now we know it. Now we know again it's true. Like, you know what I mean? It's the way he goes about everything. Like, maybe I would have done it eventually if I had a reason, but there was no reason for this. And he just made it fucked up because he started saying things and doing things, Teresa too, that were like, oh, Bo Dietl. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, we're supposed to fucking be cool. And now you're like, fucked it all up. Like, and then you want to turn and say, oh, no, you're cool now. We're cool now. I just know, you used to be a drug dealer. But why just say it then? Why are you having fucking Deedle Dumb look up everything like? And then I also I wouldn't stalk my ex either with no Deedle Dumb, See, that's the thing that gets me mad. Like, he didn't have to do any of this. And if he did, he didn't have to tell everybody. Like, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to like bully people? And then to find out that she's also doing it behind everybody's back, it's like, what are we doing? Do we even have a show now? Because now the show is ruined. But not for the viewers that are watching and listening to us in real time. I mean, I'm just saying, I'm just looking at my crystal ball and just, I've been screaming for 3 years. Something's wrong. Something's not right. Something's making something toxic. I don't know where it's coming from, how it's happening, but I swear it's Louie or Teresa. And because see, I've been calling her Teresa Von Teese. She is Teresa Von Teese. But anyway,
here's my other funny thing with the just hearing these arguments.
I wish I could just stick to pickleball. I wish I could just stick to fucking pickleball and fucking weed pens. It'd be great, but we can't. And
it's not just you, but like 1 minute you like Louie and you don't like Teresa. 1 minute you like Teresa, you don't like Louie. 1 minute you don't like both of them. 1 minute you think it's like
no. I'm just being honest. Like, two things can be true. Like, I can like them for certain things, but I can also dislike the deeper things that they've done. Like, I can admit that there's parts of them that like I really admire. Like, I admire their loyalty, but the loyalty to the wrong people. You know what I'm saying? I admire loyalty, but it's to the wrong person, or the wrong thing. I admire I admire a love bubble, but not when it's toxic. You know what I'm saying? Like, two things can be true. I actually loved Teresa I loved her as a person. I just am very disappointed in her. I'm disappointed in her as a I'm trying to just stick to like watching the show and like to the just, trying to see what the viewers see. But unfortunately, they make social media very like, it's just crazy. They made social media part of the show because they wanted it that way.
Well,
you keep them relevant between.
I do have to say, as somebody who's not paid attention to the social media and only watched the show, I think you failed.
Why?
Because
I know.
You got sucked into the social media of it all.
I know, because I didn't want to, and then my dumbass decided to 5 minutes check Twitter, 5 minutes to see it and I got and I was like, because that actually then because it's like literally it's Salt Lake. You understand. I know you understand. I know you get this, because we didn't want that to be a part of Salt Lake season either. But unfortunately, it made the entire season a shit. We were so invested in everything that was going on, and then we got fucked in the ass at the end with no loop. It made the whole season irrelevant. Nothing was real. And that's what I did not. I did not want that for Jersey. But unfortunately, that's what's going to happen to you guys.
I'm actually glad you brought this up, because I couldn't peg what it was, but I finally figured it out. So the reason why it bothered me it bothers. Okay. The reason why the fans bother me so much with New Jersey versus Salt Lake, I finally know what the difference is.
Okay.
I love people getting up in arms about Salt Lake because to me, like, it is dramatic and it's wild and that was ridiculous what they did.
Yeah.
But this is a group of women who have no attachment to each other. They basically are just castmates who are friends. Whereas in New Jersey, these are people watching a show with women who are messing with an actual family dynamic. And to see fans get up in arms over that makes it even more repulsive. So for me, watching that and seeing that kind of toxicity, I'm like, y'all are batshit. This isn't that enjoyable. Just watch the show and like agree or disagree, but like the way some of these people get about it, it's like, no, this isn't fun.
You know why though? It's not our fault. You know why? We were trying to just watch it and have our opinions. Like me, you know, if I'm doing an episode about it, or like if I'm in the comment section with everybody else or the viewers, they are the ones that attacked us. We were just trying to have opinions and like talk about it honestly, like how you and I do. We respectfully disagree. And we're still friends and it's all fine. And I'm not biting your head off. You're not biting my head off. Right. And we have our respective opinions, but we couldn't do that anymore because they're getting attacked, like really attacked in the
Well, no,
comments.
I get that. Cause like that also happens. That's what happens with the Salt Lake women. I mean, Lisa and Heather still have their troll accounts. A lot of them have troll accounts. A lot of them do the same thing where they pay the fans. That's not like a New Jersey exclusive thing. That's a housewife thing. That's not just exclusive to New Jersey.
See, I don't see that anywhere else.
Oh no, it's a huge housewife thing. Like it's a huge thing where they have fake accounts, they troll people.
Well, then
they get fans to troll people.
Then why is my Monica fired then? Why is she fired then? Why only her?
Why do you think she's so confused about it and everyone else is so confused about it too?
Yes, exactly. It's
anyway.
Not fair.
But then again, they've also fired Sheree 3 times and brought her back and just fired her again. So who knows?
That's true. Bravo doesn't know what the fuck they're doing. We should be HR.
Yeah.
Literally, the showrunners are like the showrunners are the 8th housewife, and we're the ex-husbands and ex-wives.
I should never be HR.
I know. I'd be fired. You're really cleaning house.
Oh gosh.
But see, it's not fair to have you got to drag Fuda and Rachel into this cast of people that's broken already.
So,
you know okay. I mean? So go ahead. You can go ahead.
Where were we at on the recap?
I think we were leaving.
I think we're done. I don't think there's anything to talk about with pickleball anymore. Pickleball's done. Pickleball was stupid.
Yeah, I want to get to when they arriving at Jennifer Aiden's shore house.
Oh, the pizza they were eating looked delicious.
I know. Did I told you about that shore house, right?
I don't think so.
Okay. So that shore house she bought, I think last year or summer before. It's right near the boardwalk. Okay. You watched the Jersey Shore. I did it, right? You know what
I did.
Okay, the smush room is. Okay. Imagine buying a smush house with a bunch of smush rooms in it and then keeping the same bedding and the same mattresses. And hi everybody. And like I kept all the furniture. And that's not unusual to buy a shore house and keep some of the furniture in it because it kind of just goes with the aesthetic.
Yeah.
But you throw out the mattresses and the bedding. When you have 17,000 bedrooms at home, you have plenty of sheets and mattresses you could bring to your shore house, Jennifer Aiden. You're grossing me the fuck out. You admitted that you kept all the sheets, and I just laughed when Louie and Teresa came up. I was like, "Oh, let them sleep on it." You know what I mean? But she's got the typical shore house that I have. Like I remember, like I've always rented those. Yeah. That's what ours look like. Like it's got the aesthetic. It's right. You can hear the boardwalk. You have the pizza, and that is the Jersey Shore. That's what I want you to experience. Because when you go to Melissa's, it's the rich people part. It's like on the bay where you don't feel like you're at the Jersey Shore anymore.
Every time they show Melissa and them at the Jersey Shore, I'm like, this is pretentious and snooty and stuck up and dumb. I'm like, I don't want this experience.
It's like McMansions down the shore, and I do like Jennifer's Shore because she bought the typical Jersey Shore house where you can see the difference when you see Jersey Shore house. First one, and then the ones they're in now, you can see moving on up. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but then Jen Aiden buys the one on board. I just laugh because I don't like her, and I think that she's dirty. Like Danielle says, you're dirty. You're a scumbag. And then Dolores, welcome back, scumbag. Like, that's all I keep thinking. It's like,
Oh,
oh God, we're gonna get to like, so. All right, let's get to the party. What is your thoughts on this?
well, so
What
before
happens?
before the party,
I want. Okay.
here's what this is what completely turned me off from Rachel and John, and they just can't. To me, they can't redeem themselves.
Yeah.
When Jen Fessler showed up, and Rachel was basically, without saying it, giving her an ultimatum, like, you're either friends with her or you're friends with me. It's not gonna, like, she basically said that, which is so junior high and stupid. Like, no one should say that to anybody. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
If you're gonna be friends with someone, that's great. Just know that I won't be around them, or if I see them, I'm not. Like, that's how adults behave. Like,
Yeah.
I'll be cordial, but I won't engage. And then, so that's Rachel's moment. And then what really pissed me off, Danielle and Nate show up. Danielle's talking about the party. First of all, the fact John still can't shut up about Teresa before Danielle gets there, I wanted to mute it. And then Danielle shows up and she says, like, hey, I know there's tension, I know there's stress, I know there's this and that, but this is really special. I don't want then stupid John, well, what if someone pushes back? What am I? Hey, dumbass, respect the woman who is hosting this party and understand that she's asking a very simple request of you to be a, since they're so hung up on it, be an actual man and keep your shit in line.
Yeah.
That's it. You know how hard that is to do? It's not hard.
Yeah, I understand.
But he proves at the party he can't do that, even though he doesn't like cause a scene.
I was going to say, what's he do?
So I didn't notice it so much the first time, but when I watched it the second time with my mom,
Yeah.
It kind of bothered me how the women at the party, for a while, it was fine.
Yeah.
They briefly started talking about the Teresa of it all. Briefly.
The weird chick that was there was like,
and that, yeah, she was interesting.
I think she was a plant to talk about it. I think she was planted there to bring it up.
I don't know. Nah, I didn't get that vibe.
Okay.
So Teresa and Louis show up, and Dolores shows up, and Jen shows up. Literally all they did was show up. First of all, if all you're doing is showing up and it's the other people that have a problem, immediately you're not the problem. All you did was show up.
Yeah.
If you have a problem with someone showing up and all you're going to do is show it on your face, and then mostly Melissa, you're going to show that you're annoyed that someone says hi to them.
Yeah.
You do know people can interact with other people you don't like, right? Like, that's how the world works.
Yeah.
People you don't like are going to have people like them, and they're going to talk to them. So it's like, I find it so hard for me just watching the show, taking any sort of, having any sort of sympathy for people like that, when it's like all this person did was show up.
Yeah.
And Teresa didn't come at anybody, didn't do anything, didn't start anything. There wasn't a problem. And then when her and Jen go to talk, still not a problem. And she even brings up the thing with Jen. And usually when Teresa brings something up, she's heated and she's calm about it. She was fine about it. And then when Jen said she didn't say that, I thought, oh no, this isn't going to be good. And then Jen said what she said. I'm like, okay, she still remained calm. Everything's fine. But even when they just go to have a private conversation, not one other person there can mind their business.
Yeah.
Just mind your business. You know why there's a problem? Because you want there to be a problem and you want to keep it going. How about you just let someone exist and do their thing? And then guess what? Maybe they won't keep coming after you because for some reason you have a problem if they just show up in the same space you're in. That's where I just have no sympathy for any of these women, because it's like, you want to keep this going.
Yeah.
And I don't care if the other party is also doing stuff.
Yeah.
It's the most simple of things. You don't have to sit there and make faces if someone says hi to them, or gossip and talk about them and keep looking at everything they're doing. That shows you are obsessed, and it's not normal. That's not normal.
I know it's hard to understand because I guess I can't keep. I mean, I can't keep saying it enough. It's because there's shit that they know that they have to keep there that they can't even bring up anymore. It's like they have all this underlying shit that they know that's going to happen that they
I get that.
talk about.
I get that.
So
The
they're
thing is, though,
all mad still, you know. And Teresa wants to act. Teresa has no feelings, so when things happen, she can just let it go and forget that and act like everything's fine. She's got that ability. That they actually have real emotions and a heart and real feelings. So like when they're hurt, they can't just hold it in. That's the thing. It does look like Teresa is like, oh yeah, she's fine because she doesn't have any feelings and her emotions. She's a narcissist and she doesn't care. She could just let things go. And
Melissa and Margaret are narcissists.
They're hurt
big time.
No.
And Joey.
No, this all happens because they have
and the Fudas.
They all have feelings.
Especially the Fudas.
That's the sad part is they didn't even do anything. Like they didn't ask for their past to be looked into or their stuff to be brought up or like all they did was show up to the show and like try to film, and all of a sudden you have these people looking at all of your information and bringing it up on camera. So
I find it so funny. The people that have the power to just end something or let something die don't. That's what's killing me. They try to just let it die and it doesn't die. And like Jen says, Teresa plays dirty, and if you hit low, she hits lower. And these people know this. Anyone who watches the show know this. But it's like, for some reason, people just don't understand. You need to just let something die. Mm-hmm. Just let something end. Kind of like Melissa acting like she's so fine that their relationship with Teresa's over. Great. Why do you keep talking about her?
Yeah, she's hurt. They're hurt.
No, she's not. They're not hurt.
Yes, they are.
They're playing their best game to either stay on the show or get someone off. That's all they're doing. And everyone falls for it so easily.
They tried to put out a narrative that little Joey was not Joe's son. His own sister is trying to bring up this rumor that Joe's kid is not hit. Like, first of all, Gina was born first. So that doesn't make any sense. It doesn't even track because she was with Bulldog before Joey, and then with Joey, and then had Gino, and then Joe. So Teresa, your own nephew, you want his own nephew, Joey's son, to hear that you are saying that his son's he's not a Gorga, and your parents even said so. And then you want to pretend, and then you think that his mom and Joe are going to act like fucking. That's what I mean. That they look so bad right now, like they did the whole season of the wedding and pizza, because nobody understands, like in real life, what this woman is doing to them behind the scenes. And you got these producers going, you have to act like everything's okay. Okay, fine. They can only act so calm for so long. You got to remember too, unfortunately, this is Jersey and there's something up with the water. We just don't know how to fucking shut the fuck up. We don't know.
Right.
Just and I can't even do it myself if I try.
And I'll say it again. If you're really that miserable and
sleep.
Whatever, you don't have to renew your contract for the show. You don't have to keep filming, but they all choose to. So like, cry me a river.
But why should all of them be punished for two people's actions? You know, there's 8 people there, or we'll even say 16 because they have husbands and wives. Why should 14 people be punished because 2 people don't know how to act right and do the right and, just have a normal show? She could have just said, I hate all of you and leave me alone. She could have just did that, Teresa. You know what I mean? Like, she could have just said, fuck all these people.
Well, I mean, for the same reason, like, why do all these women who have nothing to do with this family keep interjecting themselves into the family? That's the other big issue.
Because they don't have a choice, really. And
I mean, they do.
I mean, I guess they could not. I mean, they could just not be friends with people. I don't know. I don't have the answers anymore. I just think that the answer is not what anybody wants to hear. Teresa and Jennifer have to fucking go.
Well, here's
like Heather has to go.
Okay. Here's my thing.
Okay.
And people will be shocked probably I say this. You can keep Teresa and Melissa at the same time. You could.
Yeah.
The problem is
Louis. No. Sorry.
You have so many other women that are focused on only them that they don't know how to live their own lives or like present their own drama or create their own stories. So they have to lean on that and then somehow attach themselves to it. Think about like Real Housewives of OC. Think of even Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
There are so many different levels of drama going on at the same time. That's what makes those so engaging and so fun. That's why people are so bored of New Jersey, because it's just these women interjecting themselves somewhere they don't belong when really they should be giving us something else to see.
I think
instead of feeding into like what they think is the big drama. Instead of feeding into like what they think is the big drama. Like Danielle's drama that she has with her family.
right. Oh yeah.
Every time she talks about it, I forget about everything else
Me
because I'm like,
too.
oh, that's intense.
And I
But
want
then
more.
everyone,
I want
when I
more.
say everyone, yeah, I mean like
I want to see her mom. I
yeah.
want to hear from her dad. I want to hear from her brother. Like,
And then it's like they go back to Melissa, Rachel, and Margaret, and they just talk about. It's like if you're just going to sit there and talk about Teresa, get off the show for a couple seasons and figure out what you want to do, or like get over it. Like,
yeah,
do what other franchises do, and just come on. That's why I'm like, you know what you're doing.
But they're also getting sued. Either like they're also been brought in lawsuits with these people. It's fucking ridiculous. Speaking of OC, I agree because Shannon Bedore, that I also blame Bravo. Bravo fucking perpetuates it too because they have Shannon Bedore should not have been on the fucking OC this season with Jesus Jugs and ex-boyfriend John.
I'm so thrilled to watch it though.
See,
oh, I'm so thrilled.
I thought about this morning. I was like, would I rather it be any other way? Probably not. Like, I would rather, like, I get very, like, I just want Monica back. See, I would be happy if Monica would come back on OC or Salt Lake and they would clear all that up. I would be happy. I would watch it. I'd be okay for the drama. But I just feel it's unfair. If it were on OC, I guess I could say I'm there for it because I agree. Shannon could have walked away. She's 60 fucking years old. She decided to walk into the toxic Bravo room that they've created for her, unfortunately, with no loyalty. Shannon's been on that show every single year, and they know her mental health and her sobriety is at stake. And whether she decides on, she's a grown woman, you should have enough money by now that you can give up a season and not give them what they want, a storyline from you. But unfortunately, and I feel very upset. I'm scared to watch it because I'm afraid to see her crumble. But I don't know. I feel like you're right. Like these people, like at this point, these shows, these OGs, it's toxic for them. They don't like each other after all these years. And like, you either have to get rid of them all and reboot the whole show and just put them on an ultimate girl trip and force them to go on vacation together. Like they did with like New York, you know, they can't do this anymore because with the OGs on these shows, that's becoming, now they've done it. Now they've started a thing with like Salt Lake. They started a creative work environment with people that are going to hate each other because they've been on the show now 4 or 5 years, 4 or 5 seasons. Look what happens with New York. Look what happens with New Jersey. Look what's going to happen with OC. The OGs fuck it up because by now they don't like each other anymore. It's been years and years of trying to get back. And even if they're doing it for the TV show, they're doing it for us. But it's also real if they're hurt. You know what I mean? Like, you can never get OC the way it used to be. I missed old days of OC. God, it's not even the same feeling anymore. Like, I can remember what it was like to watch old days of OC in the beginning. And now it's like, it's not work. It's just like, oh, God, like, I got to watch Jennifer and fucking Melissa. I know this is going to happen. And I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. But then again, I do. But I want to recap it like when I was watching Salt Lake this season. And I thought they actually were getting along. I really thought it was all real. Like, you know, wanting to be friends with Monica and like, you know, let's take her to the you know, wherever they went, Bermuda, Bahamas, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
When I found out that it was going to be all fucked in the end, I was so fucking upset. Remember, I didn't sleep for 3 days.
Yeah.
I was fucking me up. Like, it's not fair. Like, I felt so gaslighted. And I'm like, I'm not doing this with Jersey. Fuck this shit. Like, no.
I just remembered something I forgot about this party Danielle threw for Nick. Another thing that really bothered me about John and Joey, and again, I didn't notice this until I watched it the second time.
I forgot about the guys.
John and Joey at the party were very like distant, cut off, reserved. They were in their own bubble with people I didn't even really recognize. And then when Polly showed up, Polly went over with Jen Fessler's husband.
Oh, yeah.
And Louis, and they were like flat out asking Danielle's husband, like, what happened? How are you? What went on? How was it? They were the only people they were showing who were actually showing interest in what the party was about and what the party was for, while John and Joey were so concerned about, Teresa's here. Are the women going to talk? Is anyone going to talk? Focus on the freaking party. Focus on the only people focusing on it, which should be you if you are these people who are so like compassionate and sympathetic and empathetic, you're so focused on just the Teresa of everything that you seem to forget why you're there. So it was like, oh,
yeah,
interesting.
I can like feel the tension watching it though too. Like I can't imagine how they feel. I just wish that like they didn't have to like. I don't know. I guess when they walk in the room, it gets really intense. I guess because you never know who I don't know. Like they could literally listen. You're right. They could fucking literally all just say hello to each other, be cordial, and worry about the party. Like they can. That's what adults do. Because you've seen Marge and them all say hi to each other. It doesn't have to be the way it is. Like I know that all the shit that's going on outside. But they do it with Vanderpump. They actually make Vanderpump all act like you fucking like each other at least for 5 minutes. Like you can fight for a little bit, but it's not this intense. Oh my God! All you see is these little confessionals, and you don't see anything going on in the party at all because they're focused on Jennifer. I swear on my 4 daughters. Like I'm not going to just keep going. Like but she's lying. She's swearing her she's lying. But anyway, they could focus more on the party and make them actually have a good time, like they do with Vanderpump until the very end. But I mean, like. I thought that too. Like, I'm like, are we going to talk about like the Nate of it all? Where's his family? How's his sister? Or you know what I mean? Like, we don't have any time to go into these other people's lives because the other stuff like overshadows it. And I fucking blame Bravo too. Like, Bravo could just shut it the fuck down, honestly.
You know what? I think would have been an interesting choice for them to do with this season after everything that happened at the reunion.
Yeah.
I think it would have been interesting to, and I'm not saying get rid of these people forever, but just because of like the intensity of everything and the fact that everything had boiled up for so long and they just got married, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Keep Teresa and Melissa full-time just because New Jersey is supposed to be about family. So obviously that would have to stick.
Yeah.
Keep Dolores full-time and keep Danielle full-time. And then what you do is either take Margaret and Rachel out completely or just make them friends of. But I really think not putting Jen Fessler in a full-time role this season might have not been the best idea. I think keeping the women basically the same wasn't a good move.
Right.
Because now that I'm kind of seeing going into this, I can kind of understand maybe why they took Monica out of Salt Lake, just because it would have been too much after 3 seasons of Jen Shaw and then that. I could see how maybe that might have gotten exhausting for everybody.
Yeah.
Break it up a little and then bring it back.
That's a good idea.
They should have broken this up and they didn't break this up. And now it's just getting to a point where the people who are so invested are sick and tired of it. And then like someone like me, who's just like, yeah, this is entertaining to watch, but at the same time, like, this is boring. There's a reason that The Real Housewives of New Jersey is my least favorite franchise to watch. It's just so repetitive.
Yeah, it's like copy and paste.
Yeah.
That's what they do every season, copy and paste, basically.
Yeah.
They just focus too much on the Melissa. And it's like, you're not the first person that said that. Like they should give them a break. They should split them up at least for one filming season.
I don't, and the reason I say specifically Margaret and Rachel, and it's not just because I don't like them. What I think would have helped with that, Margaret does the same thing. It's even part of her tagline. Whatever she says about taking, all she does is heckle. All she does is get in the way. All she does is like interject. We need like one good season of her not doing that to see what would actually happen. I don't feel like Rachel and John did enough their first season to like justify the full-time housewife thing a second season, but whatever, they brought him back anyway.
Yeah.
That's why I say she should have maybe been a friend of, and Jen Fessler got the full-time. It just, what they did, they screwed themselves from the beginning.
And like Jen Fessler, her life is so interesting. Her mom has twins. I want to meet, what are they, Mitty and Biddy or whatever? They are fucking entertaining as all hell. I want to know more. Like I'm saying, like you said, when you get into like Danielle's life, you kind of forget about the other shit.
Danielle was the most interesting part of that whole episode. Everything.
Yeah, I want to know. Yeah, I want to hear from all her family, or like that they don't mind being on the show. Like at least her dad and like her mom and all.
Yeah,
And I want to see the twins, like Jen Fessler's mom and the twin sister.
I know, because like we forgot to even say this. Like she talks about how she cut her dad off, but the dad still talks to her husband and her daughters because she won't ruin that. But it's like,
why weren't they at the party though? That's what was weird.
She didn't invite him.
Why was her mom there? Like,
she didn't invite him because she even said with Nate, they were saying it was going to be friends only, no one's family.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they did that on purpose, so it was just only their friends.
Yeah, and I like her dad. He cried and all. Like, I understand Danielle completely. My mother, my brothers and all make fun of me. I've actually had to block them too. They think I'm a joke. They think this is all joke. And I am always at odds with that. And because of my own peace, and I don't want to be made fun of, I block them, right? But my dad always takes their side. So I don't go to family functions, and I get very upset with my fucking dad because he's always taking their side, and he just thinks it's joke too. So I get where Danielle's coming from, and I get her feeling. And I understand why she's like, people are like, oh, that's so stupid to cut her dad off because, he's picking one side over the other. Well, no, she's truly, it's her own. It hurts her to see that, to see him not stick up for her. She has to cut him off, not because she wants to cut her dad off, because it hurts her so much to see him not take her side. Or at least look like my daughter's hurt, and maybe say, at least say like, look, I understand. Or like tell him like, look, Dick, like, why would you send it? What's, what I mean? We can't even find out what's so bad. And if it's only because he blocked her, but I understand why she's upset, but why is the brother so upset about it? You made fun of her. You made her feel like that, like she couldn't, do things without feeling stupid, or like you making fun of her. Or it hurts to see your own family not support you in what you're trying to do online. When you've been a football player and a wrestler, and you've had your family support your whole life, they went to every single baseball game, football game for that brother. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they'll trying to do something cool like that she finds fun and interesting, like I am. Same thing with me. My brothers are wrestlers, and every motherfucking football game, still the nephews, every game. But do you think they show up for Danielle, or do you think they show up for no? And that hurts. So yeah, you want to cut them off from this shit because you don't want to feel stupid and stuff. So like, we can't even get into that part of it because we got to move on to the other assholes. I love the assholes, but I'm just saying, like, and then even with Fuda, even if we don't like, we don't like Fuda, there's a lot of interesting shit to go on with, like, Fuda Tile and like what he does for a living, and like, I don't know, maybe not, it's kind of a little boring, but still, I want to see Eddie and Biddy or whatever the ants are, Fessler's mom, and
it seems weird to cast so many different women, but only focus on two of them.
Right. It's like Beverly Hills. Get fucking rid of Kyle, please. I don't care anymore.
I don't want to. I've wanted Kyle gone for so long.
It's like we can't even. The Fox Force 5 is dismantled, and now maybe we can focus on other people. Or I think Beverly Hills needs a whole reboot anyway. But think about it. Kyle and Kim and Kathy could have their own. All three of them have reality shows, right? They just need a show, period, and have all three families. That would be. Because all three shows, like, they take too much time up on our Beverly Hills that we can never get to other people, even though we had a whole thing with Erica. And also Erica, poor Erica. Look what we did to Tom Girardi's. His life has been splattered all over the place. That's literally the whole reason I started doing this. Yeah. And then we have Kyle's husband who committed fraud too, and nobody says a goddamn word. He gets a reality show.
Yeah, I know.
Isn't that fucked up? No, we haven't heard hell or high water about his fraud.
It's funny. I forget who I said this to, but I was saying it would be interesting if they reboot Beverly Hills similarly to how they did Atlanta. Get rid of everyone at Beverly Hills except for Erica, Sutton, and Garcelle.
Yes.
Keep them and reshape the whole show around those three.
You're absolutely. That's what I would say too.
That'd be great.
That would be great. You know who we forgot about? Jackie.
She didn't show up though.
I know.
She's in the preview.
I know, but I always forget about. We actually forgot about a little bit about Dolores too. Did they even show Dolores?
No, Dolores wasn't in it much. She basically just showed up at the party and like talked to Polly about real estate for a minute, but nothing. It was nothing worthwhile.
No, and there's like a rumor that they're not doing well, but I don't know if I believe that part or not yet. I don't believe that part.
I don't believe it. I don't know. Next week looks boring.
Yeah, it does. But like, I know. But then it was so hard because like so much Vanderpump was boring too. That reunion sucked. The first part anyway.
Did it?
Yeah, you don't. Do you watch them?
No.
Oh my god!
I mean, I know everything going on. I hate every single person on that show.
Oh my
It's just
God.
so insufferable to me.
Oh,
I also hate Lisa Vanderpump, so I didn't want to watch anything of hers.
how did I not know this? Oh,
I hate Lisa Vanderpump.
so you don't watch? You never watched Vanderpump at all?
No.
Oh my god, my soul's hurting right now.
I tried, and it was just so cringy.
Oh my
like
god!
literally, I don't like any of them, but I'm on Ariana's side with all this. But I don't even like her. I don't like any of them. None of them.
I'm disappointed in Lala and me and Jax. I'm blocked by Jax, but I've been
Lala. She's from Utah. No one should be surprised. She's
stupid. Laura from Utah. That's right. Lala. Yeah, she's a cunt. Anyway, she chose the money too. She sold her soul to Bravo too. She chose.
Everybody on these shows chose the money. Let's
except for
can people on the show stop saying that?
I know, right? I know.
You're all there for the money, so shut up.
I know.
Anyway,
it doesn't feel like all right. It's only episode 2, and I'm so exhausted.
I'm not exhausted. I'm already bored. I'm already ready for it. I'm already excited for Dubai.
Everybody keeps saying that. I gotta have to get into it.
I loved the first season. It was just like old-fashioned, like rich luxury, silly, nonsensical, petty drama. It felt good.
It just, and I heard that Atlanta's not starting until August, and that's literally besides Dubai.
They just started filming.
That's all we have.
Here's what I think is going to happen. Okay.
Yeah.
So Dubai comes out in June.
Okay.
And then New York, I believe, is going to come out in July.
Oh, it is?
Or OC, sorry. OC will be July.
Somebody lied to me. Okay. I'm not. Okay.
New York, I think, will be August. September will obviously be Salt Lake.
Oh.
And then
Jersey's over.
And there's going to be when they throw in all the others. Then I think Atlanta will be at the start of next year. So Atlanta? January, because they just barely started filming Atlanta.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they barely started yesterday or the day before.
So who do we have on Atlanta? Sheree? No,
they fired Sheree. So we have. I'll tell you. I don't know how I feel about it. There's a lot of new people.
Yeah.
One of the people they got has 4,000 followers on Instagram. So figure that out.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
So far.
So full time is Portia. Kenya. They brought back Drew.
What?
Yeah.
Dirty wig Drew? Oh, God.
Ready for this? Shamia is a full-time housewife.
Shamia. The best friend, Shamia?
Do you remember from a
few
mid-seasons? Shamia.
Portia's ex-best friend.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Cynthia comes back as a friend.
Oh.
Cynthia's always kind of bored me, especially recently. So yay. And then
she can't hold a man.
The new ladies are Angela Oakley, Brittany Eady, and Kelly Farrell.
What? I don't know any of them people.
That's your cast.
Is it good? Are they good?
I'm not thrilled. I mean, the fact that the 3 main people are Portia, Kenya, and Drew, basically Portia's carrying the show.
Oh, so Margot's gone.
Yep. Candy said no because obviously she was too busy. They fired Marlo. They fired Sheree.
Marlo. Why did I call her Marlo?
They should have just kept it how it was. There was so much drama. What killed me? There was so much. This is the problem. Atlanta is the only one they should have kept exactly how it was because of how their drama finished. Because it was intense, but it wasn't intense enough where no one was actually on no speaking terms. They were cordial, but Atlanta always knows how to be cordial.
Yeah. I kind of forgot how it ended, actually. I don't feel like Portia. I feel like Portia was a Hail Mary when they lost Candy.
You should revisit it.
Yeah.
But
I will. Because
so disappointing. Anyway, well, hopefully next week is more exciting than it looks because I'm already not thrilled.
I know. I'm kind of already I forget what happens already. So. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not really angry. I'm just intense. I'm just Jersey. Look at this. I'm just Jersey, okay?
Remember, you are the rain and I am the sun.
I know. And you had the birds chirping in the background. I'm over here fuck this shit.
Birds, dogs.
All right. We love you all.
Yes, thank you so much for joining us again.
Yeah, please come back. Please rate us 5 stars. If you don't like us, just let us know. But let's give us reason. It's free to listen and download us.
It is free. You can even like, if you don't even really want to listen, just to like support it, you can push play and then hit the speed on the podcast up all the way and just let it hurry and play out.
Yep, exactly. Then
Because
you can
that
rate
helps
us.
us. You can even turn the volume down if you find us annoying.
That's what I said. I was like, if you don't have to listen, you could just hit download.
But then again, why did we say that now? Because that means they'd have to listen to this. They have to listen to
That's
this
true.
whole episode to hear us hear that. So if you
Well, if you
listened to that whole episode,
thank you.
congratulations. You're amazing.
Yes, thank you for getting to this part. We really appreciate that. Like, we love you. And if you have, just send us a keyword like, I don't know, like rainwater or like flowers. If you get to this part and you got to this part, then send us some word like flowers or something on Instagram.
I like
That'd be cool.
flowers.
Listen, that'd be cool to find out how many people actually listen. I'm sorry. I love you guys. That's stupid. Okay.
All right. Well, I picked up an overtime shift, so I should go get ready for work.
All right. Well, you have a good day. I'll talk to you later.
You have a good day. Bye.
Bye. Love y'all. Bye. I never know how to hang up. God damn it. He's going to keep this in here again.